Washington Nationals are LA bound.
This moment's huge for this team in the city.
Howie Kendrick with a 10th inning grand slam.
We are not worthy.
Let's go Nats! Let's go Nats! Let's go Nats! Go Nats!
There's something about walking into history that puts a kick in your step.
The city is alive.
For the first time since this franchise formed 50 years ago.
Well, this is something you've never seen before.
The Washington Nationals are only one win away from playing in the World Series.
The Washington Nationals are National League champions.
How do you top a Game 6 for the ages?
How about one for all the marbles?
ABC 7 live in Houston with the biggest night of baseball in Nationals history.
I'm ready to cry now. After momentous home runs, controversy on the way to first, and a manager in a foul mood, the underdog Nats now out to finish the fight with Mad Max on the mound and dogs, babies, and this guy.
I had to skip out on the rehearsal dinner to go to Game 3.
The entire DMV on their side.
The Nats are on the verge of winning it all.
Base hit. I believe, no, 2 runs will score. Robert Burton was right. Talk about insurance. The Washington Nationals now lead 6-2 in the top of the 9th.
I've seen people just running around. It's getting real, y'all. Let me just say that.
All right, Tom, thanks. And as I quote Tom, it's getting real, y'all. There we go. Out, away.
3-2. Here it is.
The World Series. Houston, you got a problem!
We are the world champions.
Come on, are you ready?
I will be hammered at the frame. You wait. I just hope I can stay on the float.
We found some Nats fans that left the stadium. You guys, I said to you, Matt, you don't want to stay for the ceremony. You want to do your own celebrating. And what did you say?
Oh, we're about to go get hammered and celebrate the right way. Woo!
Why not?
Pretty noisy down here.
This is the best.
Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? This place went berserk.
This is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing.
Everybody began to believe in the Peanuts.
The Nats have won the World Series.
We believe. Woo!
The confetti is falling. This is the moment everybody's been waiting for.
He is the people's manager. And one thing he did tell the fans before he went into the dugout in that Game 7, he told the fans, this is you. This is all you. You did this.
Oh, there we go. Starting early. So I'm on daddy duty right now. So we're gonna go to John Gonzalez as Adam Eaton enjoys his champagne. We're gonna check in a little bit later here on the party bus. We're starting early. Best seat in the house. They are 50 people deep on Constitution Avenue. We are the first bus on the parade route. The Washington Monument serving as a beautiful backdrop. The African American Smithsonian Museum. It is unbelievable. I mean, goosebumps.
We're 2019 World Series champs, and nobody can ever take that away from us.
Right now at 11 o'clock, a night in Washington like no other.
President Trump, now the 3rd president in history to be impeached.
7 is on your side with the fallout.
And the latest on how the trial in the Senate could play out.
When you walk out the door in the morning, it will be the coldest so far this season. I'll show you where the coldest of the spots will be. Plus, even with a guilty verdict, see why the fight for justice isn't over for the family of a murdered college student.
Because this is only the beginning.
And remembering the football coach who was a titan on and off the field.
Now, ABC 7 News at 11. On your side. We begin with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news comes from here, our nation's capital. President Trump tonight becoming the third president in U.S. history to be impeached by the House. And when the votes were all added up, Nancy Pelosi, as you'll watch here in a second with the gavel, and warning members of her own party, do not cheer, do not applaud. Only 3 Democrats broke ranks in voting on the articles of impeachment. The first abuse of power in soliciting interference from a foreign government. That's Ukraine. The second article was obstruction of Congress. President's aides who had been subpoenaed to testify never did. Tonight, ABC 7's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman with how we got here.
Well, just a remarkable evening here on Capitol Hill. We knew this day would come. We also knew the likely result, but it didn't take away from the drama that unfolded.
Article 1 is adopted.
It was predicted, but still a sobering moment of gravity rarely seen in American history. Along mostly party lines, the House Wednesday impeaching President Trump. Democrats getting what many sought after for so long, even if reluctantly.
Today, I will vote to impeach the President of the United States. I want you to know that it does not feel good.
We want to warn you, what you're about to hear is disturbing. Here's 7 on your side I-Team reporter Scott Taylor.
Try to backhand you right in your teeth. How's that for anxiety?
According to parents, that's a secret recording of an instructor talking to kids inside a special education class at Berkeley Heights Elementary School in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Amber Pack sent her 8-year-old daughter to class with a recording device after the child didn't want to go back to school.
I'll punch you in your face.
A different instructor in the same class.
Well, you gotta go pee-pee? Pee-pee? Or do you not have to go pee-pee and you just want to go across the chair?
There's more.
I'm gonna pull your hair until you stop crying. Don't throw it. Don't throw. Animal, you. Yep. You winch. You're like a pygmy. You're like a pygmy.
The next day, Pack alerted the school district and the Martinsburg Police Department.
Do you think this has been going on for a while?
Yes. That was the first day I put the recorder in her hair.
One day you caught all
One
this?
day. 8 hours.
You can hear the instructors sometimes singing songs and reading stories to students, and other times...
How your tears dry up so quickly, crocodile. And then she wants to destroy everything in sight. I'm gonna knock you out.
I couldn't eat for 3 days. I was my stomach, everything. I was just so upset, and every time I looked at her, I'd start crying. What is this?
Casey Murphy, whose 6-year-old son Owen is in the same class, says during a late October parents-teachers conference, nobody alerted her to the recording, even though Pack had already handed it over to the school district.
I've never heard from the principal, I've never heard from the superintendent, never heard from any of them.
It wasn't until November, after Pack posted a clip of the recording on Facebook, that Murphy became aware of it.
I'm gonna beat your butt. For sure. You know, and you're gonna get one just cuz.
It's sickening. Like, people don't even talk to animals like that, and they're talking to nonverbal children who don't understand why they're talking to them like that. They're not doing anything wrong.
On the recording, the instructors tease and refuse to give Owen food.
Growl at me, I dare you, and you won't get one. Go ahead. There's nothing says I have to give you a snack. Nothing. Looks like you get nothing, Owen. Sorry, buddy.
The Berkeley County Prosecutor's Office found no criminal wrongdoing, but County Prosecutor Katie Wilkes Delegati told Casey Murphy, "I am not in any way condoning the verbal treatment of your children by the individuals in the classroom. Right now, all 3 instructors are on paid administrative leave."
I don't understand why you treated her the way you treated her. She did not deserve that. No kid does.
The school district, which declined multiple interview requests, is still investigating and says state law prevents it from sharing information. The Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Education right now is getting involved with its own investigation. Now, we reached out to all 3 of the instructors, and so far we've only heard back from 1, and they're telling us she doesn't have any comment.
It is absolutely disgusting, and as a parent, you are infuriated when you see that.
Yeah, that is really, I don't know how these mothers just stayed so calm.
This is a wild story on both ends. Uber and Lyft drivers say their pay has been cut so much, it's hard to feed their families and make their car payments. Now they say they are forced to manipulate the Uber and Lyft apps into surge pricing. What they do each night, simultaneously, all of the drivers will turn off their apps, tricking the app into thinking there are no drivers in the nearby area. That makes a surge, which means passenger prices double, triple, even quadruple, and it all happens in less than 2 minutes. Every evening, this Uber and Lyft parking lot outside Reagan National Airport fills. 120 to 150 drivers queue up, sometimes for hours, waiting for the busy evening rush. And nearly all of these drivers have one complaint.
Uber, they don't pay us enough.
What company is doing, they are actually defrauding all these people by taking 35 to 40%, and they're taking all this money because they have no system of accountability.
Do you guys all agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
After 2 to 3 years of pay cuts, these drivers say they now have to fight back by artificially manipulating the Uber and Lyft apps into higher fares.
All the riders, we wait over here, so we know the airplane when kind of landed. We wait like 5 minutes before. We pump, we turn our apps off, all of us, at the same time, all of us. We turn our app off. They go the search by $10, $12, sometimes $19, and then we turn our app off. Everyone will get the search.
This driver explains how they organize it.
Someone is stand by this corner, I stand by this corner, and the other one is stand by this corner. And we just like, hey, turn the app off, and then go online.
Now watch for yourself as our cameras roll for tonight's first planned surge.
Wait! You gotta wait. Wait.
This man runs the operation tonight. We've agreed to obscure his identity. He alerts drivers that the time to shut down is just around the corner. Using another app, he knows the precise moment to have everyone power down, ensuring the largest surge.
Hey! Wait, you gotta wait. All right, go on. Go. Take 12, take.
So the surge is currently at $12 and rising. He watches his phone closely, waiting for that exact moment when it's time to power up.
It's still going up.
Is it going up?
It's still going up. A 14. It's 13. It's still going up.
It's gonna go up?
It's 13. Don't go on yet. You on?
Yeah.
You on? Refresh it.
And that quickly, it's over. Passengers will now pay an additional $13 on their fares.
I went home and I pulled out my photo album. And I came across that picture, and it made me really uncomfortable. And it made me shudder, but I didn't know why. I started having flashbacks to the abuse. I buried it in my head. He was our friend. He was just always there. And we all thought so much of him. I feel so bad because I was his first parish. And I didn't tell on him. And I feel so much guilt for those that came after me. And I know that others came after me because I've spoken to them.
The very things that make us feel safe, accepted, and loved, like home, faith, and intimacy, have been forever altered for countless survivors of priest sex abuse.
He'd abuse me in the base of my house and then go up and have dinner with my family. And I would sit at dinner and think, doesn't anyone see I'm different?
All of my adult life, I carried this secret. No, I've never told anybody about this.
They're trying to keep as much of Bill Reineke's history buried as is possible because it's obvious he had a long and he had a very detailed history of sexual abuse of young people that goes way back, and they don't want that known.
It is midnight here in San Pedro Sula, and this is where it all begins. They're boarding buses. All of them are heading north. If you talk to some, they'll admit the ultimate goal is to make it to the United States. This is the reason I'm leaving, this man told us. He is trying to make it to the United States, he said, because low wages here make it impossible to support his young family. This man says his tattoos make him a target for gangs, so his only choice to leave. Those can get him killed?
Sí.
Honduras is one of the poorest and most violent countries in Central America, surrounded by Spanish-speaking nations with stronger economies. Panama and Costa Rica have had generous asylum policies, and to the north, Guatemala and Mexico have been open to migrants in recent years. But despite that, many still choose the 1,600-mile trek to America.
It's been drilled into our heads since forever that it's the best nation in the history of the world. Why wouldn't anyone who's trying to save their life go to the best place?
Honduran photojournalist Tomas Ayoso has been documenting this flight for 4 years.
It is an exodus. At some point, only biblical terms come to mind when you talk about it.
A project he's entitled The Right to Grow Old.
These are the feet of a 15-year-old boy who walked through Mexico as he was trying to get away.
In flip-flops.
That's what he had.
There is poverty, violence, and corruption here. Some argue in the last few years there has also been change.
My daughter is in Tennessee.
American pastor Stephen Petty believes that staying in Honduras is a better option.
I tell them, don't go. It's not worth it. What you're doing is breaking up your family. And that's what's hurting Honduras now, by all these people leaving. Unless they leave as a family, but they don't.
17-year-old Axel and his 14-year-old girlfriend were leaving the day we met them. The gang was recruiting him, and he said no, an answer that he says will get him killed.
You know it's a long journey to get to the United States.
Yes, it would be better for us to make that difficult journey many times than staying here and losing our lives, he told us.
What do you worry about?
That we can die along the way, she said. They zip up their worldly possessions into 2 small backpacks, say their final goodbyes, and walk off to an uncertain future.
What do you think about right now when you watch them walk away?
Tanto peligro en el camino.
All of the dangers that they're going to have to face along the way, she told us.
When do you think you'll see him again?
No sé.
I don't know.
No sé.
I don't know, she said. Axel told us all they have now is each other, what's in their backpacks, and God.
Oh, that was great.
Playing a round of golf at Blue Ridge Shadows in Front Royal, Virginia has become far more than friendly competition for Tom Ertz and Joe McGuire.
He's a very determined person and a very determined golfer. It's great that he is still out there doing this where we can play together.
I started to play golf with my buddy here, and she still beats me, but today I might beat him.
These old college pals have been playing each other for nearly 50 years. Their favorite moment captured in this 1983 picture at the famed Royal St. George's Golf Club in England.
It's a par 5.
Now, in their late 60s, they play with a renewed enthusiasm.
Good shot.
Thanks to a lifelong friendship strengthened even more in recent years.
Oh, yeah, it's in.
Good putt, Tommy.
In 2008, Tom, a longtime public relations expert in the healthcare field, got the diagnosis he suspected.
And I knew I had something wrong with me, so I figured it was probably Parkinson's.
This progressive disease with no known cure began overwhelming Tom.
I had trouble breathing sometimes. I just get short of breath. And I couldn't take any deep breaths, so my diaphragm wasn't working very well, I think. And also, I was exhausted. I was tired. I was going to bed earlier and earlier every night. I was stiff. I couldn't move.
He feared his days of playing golf were over. In 2012, he underwent deep brain stimulation surgery. He says the results were stunning.
It saved my life. It was great. It's great. It feels good.
While Tom feels considerably better, there's much he cannot control. He falls. A lot.
Oh, man. I fell down about 5,000 times the last 3 years. It's,
that many?
Yeah.
Tom has developed prevention techniques. He often carries multiple clubs for better balance. He'll shuffle, stutter step, take longer strides, higher strides, whatever it takes, to stay upright, whatever it takes, to keep playing.
You only get one life. This is the only life I got. And I had fun doing that, so why don't I do it? Until I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore.
And it's Joe's job to follow Tom closely with the cart to ensure that he does as little walking as possible.
The falling down part is very alarming at the beginning, but the first time he did it, he said, "Don't worry about me. I can get up, bounce back up." So by the end of the match, it's like, you know, not even paying attention to him doing that.
It's fun playing with Joe because he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out driving me and you have Parkinson's disease. I gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
To be clear, Tom wanted us here so the world could witness not a person with a disease playing golf,
I still got, I gotta be him now. But that tied me up with it.
but a person determined to thrive in a world that is often arbitrary and unfair.
You know, you try to be there if you can, but he you know, if you ever try to pick him up, he's strong as an ox. So it's he'll get up on his own.
Maybe that's why Tom feels so at home here.
Yes, all right. Purr, 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 purr. Yes, all right.
With his lifelong pal Joe by his side.
You getting tired? You got some meds due or something to eat, or want that candy bar in there?
I'm fine right now.
Come on, man. Gotta hold together here. Bertie, you're playing pretty good. Must be all the fame and fortune.
Fortunate indeed to realize that the place that makes you feel most alive exists within the richness of friendship, spanning oceans and generations, nestled now in fields of green, where it's okay to fall, knowing someone will be there to pick you up. In Front Royal, Virginia, I'm Jay Korf for ABC 7 News.
Backseat smoking and the Axos dragging!
So did you figure it out? Well, she figured it out. Let's go. Congratulations. Woo! Yeah! Oh my God. So here you go, guys. Here's your baby boy.
It's on inspection day.
It's inspection day. You're being inspected. Chief. I'm stunned. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for being here. Thanks, guys, for making it happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feels all us.
What? No.
It seems odd that an entire neighborhood and strangers living hours away would come out to wish someone happy birthday. But the Weinberger family is blessed to live in a very special community that rose before dawn to pull off a remarkable surprise.
I see a sea of yellow, everything.
Early Wednesday morning, some 200 yellow-colored vehicles, including sports cars, construction equipment, and buses, gathered near the Weinbergers' home in Alexandria. Some drove through the night.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Patricia Jones Johnson, and I'm stationed at Fort Hamilton, New York.
They came after hearing about Whitaker Weinberger's bumblebee birthday surprise.
At such a young age, he's fought more than all of us have, and I'm just so honored to be here.
Whitaker fought stage 4 neuroblastoma the first few years of his life.
I mean, it's been a good 2.5, 3 years of cancer hell.
He was always too sick to have a proper birthday, but now that he's doing better, his mom Erin hatched a plan.
Hi, thank you.
Weeks ago, she asked anyone with a yellow car, similar to Whitaker's beloved Bumblebee toy from Transformers, to line his morning walk to school on this, his 4th birthday.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
So many people came on foot and in yellow cars that the Alexandria Sheriff's Department helped with traffic control.
Thank you, everyone. I'm completely overwhelmed. I'm so thankful. This is all community coming together, and it's amazing.
And it's fair to say Whitaker was wide-eyed the entire mile walk to school.
I'm gonna keep all. You want to keep them all? Thank you.
Despite the unrealistic dreams of a 4-year-old, Whitaker did not walk away with any life-size bumblebees.
Thank you, everybody.
But his family left knowing that good people from far and wide exist around every corner.
It's amazing. I can't believe how great this is. I can't believe how many people showed up. Such an insanely great community that we live in.
Maybe the greatest gift on this day came in the simplest package. It's a card addressed, "Dear Whitaker, my name is Frank. I'm 12 years old and I'm a childhood cancer survivor as well. I'm almost a year into remission. I am extremely happy for you and impressed of how strong you are. Have an amazing 4th birthday." Amazing indeed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Dodgy Riders.
Everyone that I know that knows Larry says that he's been here forever.
Good morning. Good morning, young lady.
Larry doesn't ask anybody for anything. He just sits out here and brightens everyone's day.
Good morning. Good morning. If they might be feeling down, I'm gonna brighten their day up. That's what they call me, the good morning man. Right here, what kept me going to the graveyard and back to prison. Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Back to Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
It was so much liquid, and it wasn't just here in D.C. It was from Hagerstown right down 270, down through the district and into Charles County. But what I wanted to do was just focus in specifically inside the Beltway. So here's the Beltway that goes around. So I took a square of this area. The average precip yesterday, and this was basically over an hour or two, was 2.4 inches. I then looked at the distance and said, okay, that's roughly 336 square miles in this zone. So how much water is that? And it is a monster number. It is over 14 billion gallons. So the question is, how much water is that in the real world perspective? We could say Olympic-sized swimming pools and it fills up, so many. I put it out from here to the Mississippi, essentially, is how long those would stretch. But what I wanted to do was put it locally and say, okay, let's look at the National Mall, for example. So I have it here on the table. So we got the Lincoln Memorial this end. Here's the Washington Monument. We come down here, the U.S. Capitol. If we could somehow take the National Mall and put walls and kind of harness in that area, it's a total of roughly 480 acres. If we took that and we took the rain that fell, again, just inside the Beltway, we're not talking about the entire DMA, what would that equal? So I'm going to zoom this on in for you. I'll kind of walk on in. We're looking down 23rd Street here northwest. That's, of course, the Lincoln Memorial. It would be up and equal 89.6 feet. It would nearly cover the Lincoln Memorial. We work our way down the mall over to the Washington Monument, which, of course, the monument's high. It's 555 feet. This would take it up about a fifth of the monument. All those flags that are around, they would all be gone. We take it down a little bit farther down the mall. The museums, all of those would practically be underwater. Nearly every building would be underwater at 90 feet. And then the U.S. Capitol here, the U.S. Capitol is 288 feet, so it wouldn't cover that, but it would cover all of that lower area. That would be underwater. Again, that is how much liquid fell yesterday.
Thank you, Washington, for coming out for the ABC7 Toys for Tots Toy Drive.
It's a great opportunity to give back where you actually grew up.
It's been great this year. And what a great place to do it at here at the Iwo Jima Memorial.
Happy holidays from ABC7.